Three, two, one. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of the Pixel Venture Podcast. I mean, you already kind of knew that because you clicked it. Fuck, start over. Hi, everyone, welcome to the Pixel Venture Podcast. My name's Corey.
And you know who I am.
Jake,
Yeah.
you're getting better with these intros every single day.
You know, I was thinking of saying, and I'm busy, but we already went over that.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done it and, had it be a pattern type thing, because I already did fuck up. So, salvage it.
I mean, you're editing the audio this time, so you can make me say, and I've been busy.
Jake.
Or no, sorry. And
Jake,
I'm busy. There
you
you go.
literally.
That's a clean cut.
I can use the other clip that we recorded too.
Are you recording my audio?
No, but
Then
I mean,
how would you do that?
if you sent me the other one that we did earlier.
I'm not gonna.
Oh my god, Jake. Okay. Well, yeah, to help Jake, because Jake is wicked busy with a lot of college stuff, I'm going to be editing this audio, which I did for the last Jake episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two papers due one after the other.
Yeah, so Jake needs all the time he can to work on it. So, yeah, if there's any audio problems, feel free to scream at me. I'll ignore it, or, pretend to ignore it and cry in the corner. But,
Or if there's video problems, you can come scream at me, and I won't know, because I'll be too busy.
Yeah, leave in the comments below if you're disappointed in us.
Leave a comment down below if you, love us.
Demolish that like button if you fucking hate everything we stand for. Anyways, Jake, we've played Endless Mission recently.
Yes we have.
Yeah, so we've mentioned it a couple of times in the podcast before, but as a
if
quick
you're
refresher.
new here...
If you're new. Endless Mission is a game where you play different genres of games, and once you complete them, you unlock the ability to fully customize that given game. So you can adjust the scale of objects, you can adjust what actually gets put into the game. It's like a whole game development type suite that's presented in sort of short burst micro games, I think. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah. It's kind of like a bunch of... It is kind of weird to, describe it. You can make a bunch of mini, almost like arcade kind of games. Because they're not, you couldn't make, a fully fledged, retail-sized game. But you could make, honestly, I think a good comparison is one that, the developers gave us, and it's basically like Gary's Mod.
Yeah, it gives you the sandbox, it gives you the tools, and you can choose what you do with it.
Yeah, and you can make it, as big, as small, as custom as you want. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's already a pretty loyal community as far as, fan-made games and things like that. Yeah. Because, one thing that's actually great, too, is that they've, so it's open for the, alpha, right?
Alpha or beta, something. Beta, I think.
It's whatever. It's open to the public right now.
It's early access.
Yeah, early access on Steam. Jake and I picked it up because we played it back at PAX, and it was a lot of fun. My big thing was that I just fucked with the gravity.
Yeah.
Which was great. And that's actually, I'll quickly touch upon that. So, while you're playing the game, you can actually choose to sort of isolate yourself from the game at any given point and mess with the values of certain things. So say you're playing the RTS game, and your character, you want it to hit a little harder and live a little longer. You can literally just go into the numbers, make their attack 10,000, and make their armor 10,000 as well, and they'll never die. You can take out all the enemy towers and characters in one hit.
Or what you could do is you could take the RTS world, and you could make the player a race car and just drive around the RTS world.
Yeah, because when we played the PAX demo, the two that we picked, at least when Jake and I played, it was the racing game and the RTS game. And once we played both of them, we were then given the tools to replace like certain things. And so we replaced the character, or well, you don't really control a character in RTS aside from like, you know, troops. But we made it so that the player is playing in a car and they have to drive around and crush the zombie characters. They're like the enemies in the game, and you had to hit like a certain number of them in order to win.
Yeah.
And it's pretty simple, like that kind of demo, but it was enough to sell me on the fact of like, you know, making these intricate games where like you combine these genres. And hell, we talked to the developers about certain genres, like possibly having a horror one, a shooter one. I'm not too deep into the game right now, so I don't know what's there. But what I see is very promising.
And that year at PAX, I'd played the demo with you, but I'd also played the demo with Ethan, who was also there. And I don't remember which like genres we ended up mixing. I want to say it was like racing and maybe platforming.
How did that work?
I don't even remember that part. I know it was racing because when we first played, it was just like a generic racing game, and the developer was like, okay, so how's like, you know, the controls feel? How's like, you know, the car managing? And Ethan was the one I think was like controlling it, and he says like, oh, I mean, like, it's all right. I think with the map, the turning's a little bit too strict, and, you know, it could be a little bit, you know, sharper on the curves. And the developer's like, oh, okay, just open up the menu and do that. And Ethan's like, wait, what?
That's like the best kind of thing for the developer, is just be like, oh yeah, you could change it yourself, instead of, you know, complaining in a forum.
Yeah, and the developer's just like, okay, go change it. And we're like, wait, is this just like on the fly? And it's like, no, it's a part of the game.
Yeah, like that's one thing that's so cool too, because one of my favorite DS games of all time, you could probably find the box art for it. It's called WarioWare DIY. And the whole idea behind it is, so the WarioWare games, it's like, you know, mini game collections. WarioWare DIY, the whole idea of it is it gave you the ability to create micro games, comics, and music. It gave you like a bunch of stuff. And the stuff for like making the mini games, it's like, it's a very simple kind of way of programming, where it's like you tell that object that if it touches this, it does a certain thing, like that kind of thing. Like very simple tools, but it was very in depth. So it's like, if you're playing a micro game and you're like, I could make it harder, you can copy that one and go into the code and stuff and add your own things. And it's a more basic version of what you can do with Endless Mission, because Endless Mission gives you so much, like so much more than just the demo that we had.
And something that's interesting about Endless Mission, that we didn't get to touch upon at all at PAX, but we did get to ask like some questions about it, is the Endless Mission has a story. It has like an overarching story to it. Where it, like, honestly, I haven't even gone like far enough to know like what exactly the story entails.
There's a disembodied voice.
Yeah, there's a disembodied
and it wants
voice
me to play games.
Who apparently like runs everything, whatever everything is. And yeah, there's like stuff going on and stuff going wrong, and yeah, you like complete objectives by like playing different games and doing different stuff.
I will say, it's nice that you mentioned earlier though the fact that you can fine-tune specific things with each of the games. Because the only thing that I had for the complaint, like for the game, like what I played, is, so I don't enjoy platformers, let alone 3D ones. So like having the 3D platformer be the first thing that we played, well, at least that I played when I got, you know, the early access,
Yeah.
I was a little upset because that's like the tutorial where it's like, okay, so this is how you do like sort of quick equip, like changing the scale of something rather than going in for the sliders. I like using the sliders a bit more because I enjoy like, you know, menu dive type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have those like hotkeys or whatever. It never got to the point where I could like, you know, pick the character and be like increase jump arc or like decrease weight, because it felt like jumping with the damn like cat pirate lady or whatever felt like a sack of potatoes, a lopsided sack of potatoes that gained more potatoes randomly.
The thing with me, and this is like a quick side note, when I tried asking about, back at PAX, I had asked, like, is there, like, a greater story to all of this? And the guy said, yes. And so I asked, can you tell me anything about the story? And he's like, oh, no.
That's what I love. That's what developers do, where someone's asking a question, it's like, hey, so is this thing going to happen? And he's like, totally. It's like, could you talk more about it? Hell no.
And he was, like, so genuine to it. It's like, so there's, like, a greater story to this, right? And it's like, yeah. Can you tell me about it? Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to play for that.
Aren't these developers based out of Arizona? I believe.
Maybe? I don't remember.
I believe so. I don't know. But like overall they were just very, very kind. The man who was like helping us, I believe he was the head of the company.
Yeah.
Definitely like very passionate about this, wanting to get ideas for different genres that they can throw into the game. And so like I suggested horror so that we could get like a first person perspective in the game.
Yeah.
Which I imagine actually, like if that is in the game, one cool thing that someone could do is they combine that and the RTS game and make it so that you're one of the like, you know, nameless pawns.
Yeah.
In like the RTS, and you're actually exploring the world and stuff. And there's some kind of stakes with that because, you know, you're the low level pawn. Maybe you have like some battle cry thing where you can bring a bunch of them with you, like other ones, and you could like fight the little zombie hordes like in first person.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a really interesting game that I'm like definitely going to follow, and like I might even like join the more like in-depth like community and stuff, like Discord and stuff like that. I don't know how I feel like playing it again though.
What do you mean?
Because I did feel it wasn't just you where like the platformer stuff felt like kind of like wonky. And I don't know like how much of that can be like changed. I'm sure plenty of it can, but it definitely feels like a little like funky to maneuver around, like just as its own thing. I played one of the custom made maps that were already made by like community people, and it felt like very much the same. One thing that I noticed, and I have no idea if you shared it, how well did the game run on your computer?
The game itself, it had some points where the quality dropped, but overall it was very consistent.
Because for me, like, the frame rate was overall fine, but for some reason there was like an ever so slight but like noticeable delay in like some of the movements, which was really annoying for like the platformer especially.
Yeah, I think what that comes down to is just this is like early access.
Yeah.
This is something that's being actively worked on, and the developers are very passionate about it, and so they're listening to the community.
Yeah.
I've seen some people complain about like input lag before, which I mean, my big thing is that I am used to having input lag with stuff on my computer because my computer is kind of bad. But like, I feel like if I played maybe on something like your computer or Ryan's or just anything that can do more than just, you know, cook toast, like,
because like my computer, it's definitely not like, you know, top of the line, especially not like now. Like maybe a few years ago it would have been like on the higher end, but now it's just kind of like an average Mac computer. Like It can run
It's
games
still
like
good.
it can run Overwatch perfectly fine, and it can run
Mhm.
games like The Witcher pretty fine. But
Oh my god. You
uh,
had to go really close to your mic for that. I was adjusting my volume and it fucking scared me.
but for some reason, like there is just like input lag, and I tried like closing the game and like reopening it to see if like, oh, maybe it's just like a first time installation thing.
It was just something that
But-
was prevalent.
But I don't know. And like I almost feel bad complaining about it because usually like graphics and input are like a very like case by case basis and not like an overall like your game is bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I'll see like how that goes, but
I have faith in the developer.
yeah.
Like, this is definitely going to be a game that, like, I don't know if it's going to be, like, crazy popular. I mean, there's already a pretty good community.
Yeah.
And reception so far has been pretty nice. But, like, regardless of if this gets, like, huge or not, I appreciate the game for what it does. Because, if anything, this is making more people be able to take a look at game design. Because not only is it, you know, encouraging the idea of combining things, but also it gives you the tools to do said things, and then, like, some, you know?
Yeah. And I tried out like some of the editor stuff just like for a little bit to see what it's like, 'cause that is a big part of the game. And then that reminded me why I went into film and not game design. Which is like
How do you feel about those menus?
it's a similar level of like I don't want to complain about the problems I had because I'm not the right person to be doing that. Like I was even fine with like the menus. It was mostly like I'd be like in the middle of the game and I'd try like opening a menu, for example, and like in like the RTS game where you have a bunch of like minions and troops and things like that, I would try like selecting them, and some of them just straight up weren't selectable, and I like it's too like early and too new for me to like know if that's a me problem or if that's like a bug that needs to be like checked out. Like I would have like a bunch of archers, and for some reason there'd be like one or two that couldn't be like selected and changed, like no matter what I did.
Yeah, one thing that I would like to have added to the game is the ability to multi-select, like similar things. Because during the RTS game, with certain troops like the minions, having to individually select like all of the archers in order to have them have the same health, same arrows, everything like that is a little annoying. Maybe there is a multi-select tool that you unlock a little bit later, because again, like the way that the game is working is that it gives you like sort of the base scaling tools, as base interaction tools and stuff, and it slowly introduces more and more concepts as you go.
Yeah.
And so maybe like again, we're too early in this and we don't have all the tools or all the answers, so we're just kind of, you know, pulling at nothing.
I had the same thought as you because I decided to take one of my archers, give them like 1,000,000 shield, do 1,000,000 damage, but also on top of that, I made their fire rate like 0.01, so they were just like a literal machine gun of arrows. And I tried looking to see if there was a way to change like the archer like troop in general, just as like when you make one, like this is how they come out, not even just like a case by case basis. But yeah, I definitely have high hopes for the game. I even have high hopes for the story they're trying to tell.
Oh god, yeah.
It is very intriguing because like you get very like you know, lab rat kind of vibes out of who you're playing. And like there is just like this disembodied voice, and like it's weird to see like what's going on because there's it also touches on like AI that's like evolved and like, you know, things like that. So I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, my curiosity comes from the fact that it's literally a game that's meant to be a genre showcase. How do you make a story out of that?
Yeah. And you know what that makes me excited for? I want to see like at least one, and if there's more, I want to see how many like unique game modes are going to be made out of this.
Oh yeah, That'd be so interesting. Like, you know what I would love to see as like a game mode?
What?
I want to see like a game jam game mode where maybe it's like a weekend type event where 48 hours you and your friends can team up and work on a game together. It has to fit this like one concept or whatever. And at the end of the weekend on Monday, the games are out. People can play them and then vote which ones are their favorites. And whoever wins, maybe they get like specific assets that they can only access, or maybe some cool in-game rewards that show up on their accounts, like that kind of thing.
Like, imagine if there's just like this new subgenre of like racing games that are like platformers, and you're like playing against like other people playing like bumper cars basically in like 3D space.
Oh, you're talking about just like a game being inspired by just that engine, like what's there.
Kind of like how, like, you know, you have Dota 2 and like that made, was it Dota 2 that made like auto chess like a thing?
Yeah, Dota 2 made auto chess like a huge thing.
Exactly.
And then and then you just literally have like, you know, Warcraft 3, Dota.
Exactly. Like, I want to see like how many like game modes or like subgenres get created out of the Endless Mission.
I want to make a horror racing game.
I want to make a racing RTS game.
I like the idea of a horror racing game because of maybe like the idea of the better you're doing, the more of like the more creepy and eerie the atmosphere around you gets, so that's trying to distract you as you're like racing along.
Yeah.
Or maybe play into the idea of like a ghost type thing where you're racing, but then occasionally your wheel becomes possessed, and so you start drifting a little bit more to the right or something.
What if like the further, like the higher up you are in the ranking of the race, the more like fog surrounds you, so you can like see less in front of you?
Well, I was thinking that, but then there's also that other idea that I had where it would be one player is trying to drive down the course, and then the other players play as spirits that can possess different things on the course. So say like they possess a like there's lights that go along the course so that you can see. One person could possess a power box and make a strip of lights go out, so that the first player has to rely solely on the headlights in order to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Or like have the ability for one of the ghosts to possess a trash can and have the trash can fall on the track and hinder the ability to like drive there.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. Maybe I should try to make that.
You know what you somehow reminded me of in a very disjointed way?
How? What?
Do you remember that like web browsing racing game where you're like the hand that can touch like everything and rip stuff out of the car?
Yes! I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the game that played a little bit like EnviroBear.
Kinda, yeah. And you could like
Yeah, it
turn the
was
steering
called, like-
wheel, but if you pulled too hard, you would rip the steering wheel
Yeah,
out.
you rip it off, and there was like the radio and pretty much everything you could rip off. I
Radio,
remember
like
what
a
I
rear
would do.
view mirror, like knobs and air, like yeah.
I would play the way that I would play that game. I'm going to try to find the name of it as we're talking about it. But the way that I would play the game is literally I'd switch the radio to like the rock concert music, and then I'd rip off the steering wheel and hold down the gas and see how far I could get.
Wasn't it something like kind of like general and stereotypical of like Midnight Drifter or something like that?
I think it might have been.
I'm pretty sure it had a very like generic name, like purposefully.
I'm doing everything I can to find this right now because I would love to play this game again. I mean, there was a game called Midnight Club. That's not it. Completely different. Yeah, I'll look this up like another time.
And with the power of editing, we will cut out all the dead air and put the name right here.
Knight Rider Turbo.
There it was.
Oh my god. Dude. I'm gonna play this tonight. Like, damn. I completely forgot that existed. Man,
Hey Corey.
good game. Yeah?
On a completely different note, while you're editing
This is
the
going to be a
audio,
great segue.
tell me if you can hear the cat in the background.
I will let you know, and if I
'Cause-
can...
For those who don't know, I'm living with a cat this year, again. Different cat from the previous 2 years. And it has a habit, it's a very chatty cat.
Hmm.
And it has a habit of, literally, like, sitting outside my door and just yelling.
I will attempt to see if I can hear it or not. If I can, I'm going to boost it. Because cats get views.
I'm also not going to add a cat because I'm busy.
Plus, they're outside the door, so you don't need to animate that.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, the cat will do that whether or not I'm in my room. He'll just sit outside my door and yell for no reason.
They just want in.
But like, whenever they come in, they never come out.
That's...
Like, they'll go like under my bed that has like a piece of furniture like under it that has like drawers and stuff. He'll go under it and then go like behind it so no one can get him out.
That's...
But I can't close my door
like...
because my roommate will be like, "Oh, like, where's my cat?" And I'm like, "It's in my room," and he won't leave.
That's like my cat, where literally, if I have my door closed to my room, she will stand outside of it and start meowing like crazy. And then the moment that I open the door, she walks in, walks around in circles for like 5 minutes, and then leaves. She doesn't like stay, but I feel like because she doesn't stay, I get a little bit more frustrated. Because it's like, okay, you're meowing like crazy. It's like 1 a.m. What do you want? She's like, I just wanted to make sure you're in bed. Okay, good night. And then runs away.
Like, with most cats, it is like, you know, they'll want to like go into your room, and then like once you let them in, they don't care anymore. No, like this cat, like he wants in, and he wants to stay here. Which is somehow worse. Which is somehow worse.
That's a good yawn. Wow. Okay, what time is it right now?
It's like 12:16.
Damn.
In the morning, by the way.
Yeah, we're recording this pretty late or early, I guess. I don't know. Because I was out and about earlier today. And because we're both very busy boys, we're not able to record until late at night, which is fantastic because I'm going to be fixing up the audio. I want to try to fix it up tonight, but odds are I'm going to pass out and have to work on it tomorrow morning. But like, I'll do what I can because I do have plans to get breakfast with someone like tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'll do what I can, Jake.
I have plans of going to class and then finishing the paper I have due tomorrow at 6.
Oh my god.
And then I have the paper due the day after at midnight.
Jake.
Hello.
Don't die.
You can't kill what hasn't lived.
That's really fucking dark for our podcast. Like,
really, that's where it gets too dark.
I don't know, man. That was just like very like depressing when you're talking about cats. Like, it's a bit of a jump, don't you think?
Fuck it, I'll put up an image of like Death Knight from WoW. Their problem
like,
solved.
as you say
fix
that?
It. Sure.
Oh, okay.
Fucking,
Are you going to give yourself like the knife that you had before?
Dude. Death Knights don't wield daggers.
I know, but like you had that knife and you said that you prefer knives.
Frost DKs wield one-handed weapons. Unholy and Blood wield two-handed weapons. Those don't include knives.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, shit. What can we talk about? This episode's like very disjointed.
I mean that's about it. That's about it. What
I love how you're saying.
Talk about?
I love how it's like about it. Okay, do you want it to only be a 30-minute episode?
I mean, Did you have something you wanted to talk about, sir?
Fucking, I don't know, dude. Usually we were like, we have it go at least to 40 if we're doing a short one.
No, we don't.
What do you mean?
Before, it was only like 30.
Yeah, we also had outlines. It was shitty.
Yeah, and now we don't.
And now it's even more shitty.
We don't have an outline, and we don't have anything else to talk about.
I mean,
So we're...
I don't know. I think my, I think there is one thing I want to talk about.
Was...
Do you know how I've been trying to play, like, Enter the Gungeon and get it 100%?
Yeah.
I am 98% away from completing it. And I am, like, losing my goddamn mind.
Congratulations.
Because the few items that I do need, one of them requires me to beat a boss that's just being asked to me. And then the other it's one of the most common, like, weapons you can get. It's like the crest crossbow, or like, it's the crossbow that shoots stars. I have never gotten that in any of my runs. Like, I've seen it in the store, but I've never had enough, like, caissons or anything, and I've never gotten it out of any of the chests. So I'm just, like, very upset, constantly resetting, like, my my maps or whatever to try to get it to spawn, or try to get, like, anything in the chests, and it's just not working, and I'm very upset. Jake,
Yeah.
do you want the episode to end?
I literally have nothing else to talk about.
Wait, are you serious? I thought you were making a joke.
No, I legit don't.
Oh my god. I mean,
My life has been homework and projects and productions, and I visited Kyle the other day, and that's it.
Dude, how's Kyle doing?
He's getting surgery,
Oh damn.
so I gave him some food.
Yeah, so I stuffed food in the wound.
No, he hasn't gotten it yet.
Oh,
He
gotcha.
gets it the day before Thanksgiving.
Cool. That's fun. Let's not talk about friend surgeries right now.
You're the one
you know
that
what,
talked
Jake?
about
Since
putting
we don't,
food in the wound.
I mean, yeah, but whatever. Hey, Jake, I have
Yes.
an idea. Okay,
You.
since you don't know what to talk about, I'm going to get your hot takes. This is going to be a lightning round. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, we have to have a theme for, like, the lightning round. Do you know what to do?
Since it's the first one, let's not have a theme.
I mean, I have an idea where it'd just be like, lightning round!
That's still not a theme.
I'll put reverb on it and, like, crackling thunder or something. Alright, Jake, lightning round. Real quick, impressions. Joker 2 has been confirmed. Did it need
Okay.
a sequel?
Sure.
What?
Sure.
Why would it need a sequel, though?
Because I haven't seen it, and I don't care. If it did well, it's gonna make money. Next one.
Okay, Game Awards have released the nominees for, like, the Game Awards, like, the actual awards show.
Wow, I bet Warcraft not making it into the best continuous game has nothing to do with their politics. Next question.
Exactly. I'm trying to think of other things. Race wars in America.
Someone's gonna win. Next question.
That's a really good answer. How do we end the podcast?
And I've been questioned.
Oh my god, Jake. Okay. Thank you for listening to this short episode of the podcast. So in sort of an effort to make up for this, we're going to have a special bonus episode of sorts coming out the week of Thanksgiving. It's one that we recorded with the previous guest, and it's
We're
a
not
little
gonna
different.
Say who.
Yeah, it's a little different than what we normally, like, do for the podcast.
You're going to figure it out when you listen to it. And
Yeah.
watch
Oh
it.
my god. Oh my
It
god.
will be interesting.
Yeah, the moment that it loads, you will know. But aside from that, like, it's, again, non-traditional episode. Don't expect similar ones of that nature to release frequently. It's more of like a test thing to see how that goes, and then maybe we'll evolve it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want to do some more things with this channel than just the podcast.
Yeah.
So we move the podcast to a different thing. Cool. That's innovation.
No, we're just gonna add more stuff to the Pixel Venture Productions, name pending.
Oh my god, patent pending.
Exactly.
Dude, we got to get that trademarked.
Pixel Venture Productions, dictated but not read.
I like it. Anyways, wait, were you want to say anything?
Nope, nothing.
Jake!
I swear to God, it was nothing. Just say your outro.
I love it. I swear to God, just fucking end it. Like,
because if we don't, we're going to go on about it for forever, like we already are.
I know we are. I'm just trying to get to the 40-minute mark. All right. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Pixel Venture Podcast. I've been Corey.
And I am definitely going to end up regretting my answer to the Race Wars question.
Oh my god. Can we just continue it with having it just be like, okay, we had to cut the rest of the episode because Jake said the N-word?
I'm just going to leave the disclaimer here that's going to go for everything I ever say. Dictated but not read.
Okay. Have a good one, everyone. See you next week.
See ya.